So, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, Marlo is getting ready to get her nephews back. Okay. I still hate that she really expects her sister to instill structure. She gets on a call with her sister and asks her, like, oh, so how was structure? Did you give them structure? Like, how was it? How were the boys? This and that. And it's like, even if she did instill structure in their life, it's not gonna matter because it's only going to matter to her, right? Between them and her, in my opinion. I feel like those boys, if she gave them any type of structure, they're going to have a newfound of respect for her, which does not mean that they're going to have a newfound respect for you because you were the one that did not give the structure. Does that make sense? Okay, that's like a kid going to their daddy house or something, and they know, like, I can do whatever I want to do over here, but when they come to their mama house, they know it's X, Y, Z, A, B, C. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like they may have a different respect for their mama stuff than they do for their daddy. So yeah, but let's go ahead and keep going. Um Anyway, so Drew is still out of the count because y'all know she messed up her Achilles. I believe she had to have surgery for that. So Sheree ended up stopping by, which I thought was really nice. I was not expecting that at all. So I was like, look at Sheree. It made me a bit happy in the moment because I felt like, if they really took the time out to get to know each other, I feel like they really would like each other. Like, for real, for real. I think they really would get along. But it is what it is, child. Sonya also decided she was gonna stop by as well. Okay, that was another surprise because her and Drew have been on and off. So they both stopped by, checked on Drew, all was well. Of course, they talked about the trip to Jamaica and how Kenya and Sonya was getting into it back and forth, right? Well, Sheree also went on to tell Sonya that Kenya felt as though her husband was aggressive, intimidating, doing too much. So Sonya didn't like that at all. So Sonya said, I'm going to give her a call. She gives Kenya a call. Kenya, like, number one, the way Kenya answered the phone, like, is everything okay? It's either two things. One, it was late as hell at night when this call was made, or two, y'all don't even talk like that at all. So for her to hit you up, it must be a serious situation that's happening, is what she thinking. And come to find out, it's not. Sonya called this lady, woke this lady up out her sleep to let her know, yeah, Sheree told me that you said some shit about my husband, and I just really want to know what it is that you said. Okay, did you say this? Did you say that? King said, oh, and then Sonya said, cat got your tongue. And I was kind of like, Sonya, don't be trying to act bold now. Don't be trying to act bold with Kenya now. I don't like that energy that you're trying to give out over the phone. But when y'all was in person, even yourself said that you couldn't really take her. Okay. And how Kenya ate you up. Like, girl, you really not prepared while you trying to rush and have this phone call, man. So I ain't really like that at all. But anyway, Kenya said, girl, listen, honey, I'm asleep. I don't even remember what the hell I said, girl. My brain cells are still trying to come together at this moment. So let me give you a call back when I get up, okay? And there's that. All right. Sonya felt as though Kenya is just mad that she doesn't have what she has. Okay. You ain't got no man to stand up there and defend you in XYZ. And I understand her feeling that way. Like, you ain't got no man to defend you. So that's why you over here tripping, this, that, and the other. And maybe that's why you can't relate. Right. So, yes, I definitely understand Sonya on that. But then also at the same time, Sonya says that Kenya needs to keep her husband's name out her motherfucking mouth. And I just feel like, well, if that's the case, your husband don't need to be standing up at no table telling no woman XYZ ABC. So if he could stand up on this woman and tell her to shut the or whatever he said, like, don't fuck with my wife or whatever, then if he can do that, then she also can discuss him with somebody else. So that's just what it is. So what's going on? Let's go ahead and keep going. Okay. So Kenya and Sheree. So Sheree is getting ready for this damn She Buy Not Gonna Happen event. She Buy never gonna put it on the website. She Buy never gonna put it on a shirt, except for a fashion experience, girl, because it's not a show. Mm, right? She Buy not selling out. She Buy not selling a damn thing. She full of shit. Girl, so Miss Sheree, and it's crazy because I really do want Sheree to win, y'all. Like, I do like Sheree for the most part. I don't like some of her antics when she get with Marlo, for real, but I do like Sheree, and I do want her to do something with this She By Sheree line. Like, please do something, because I'm tired of being a part of the She By Not Gonna Happen, And it's like, girl, we have came all the way out of a pandemic. Let us step into some She By Sheree attire. Like, come on, get it together, okay? So anyway, let's keep going. So while Kenya is at this, I guess, auditioning for models for Sheree's experience, Kenya sees Kenya feels like she needs to go big or go home, basically. Okay. This should be better than what it is. All right. And the assistant is giving Kenya pushback. Assistant was a bit funny, girl. Assistant was not trying to be here. She wasn't trying to hear Kenya on that she was saying. I felt the assistant a bit because it's like, girl, this is me. Like, she hired me to do this. She didn't hire you. You over here overstepping your boundaries. Okay. And just because you see this scarf around my head, girl, don't mean I won't get with you. Okay. Because I will get with you. But the assistant tells Sheree, like, because Kenya is hyping her up to have some actual like good models. And so she tells her, like, to get some models, it's gonna run you to, $250 to $500. Like, we really can do that. Here goes Sheree with the excuses, girl. I mean, we can't do that. Like, nah, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do all that. So it sounds like you want to get people to work for you for free, and you just want to be able to say, allow them to put on their resume that they walked for She by Sheree or Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, that's what it's giving. But okay, however you finesse it, girl, finesse it. So what she said, she told me she spent $1 million already. And I said, you mean the course over these 10 years or however long it's been? Or over 10 years? Is that what you mean? That's how much you spend? Because we know you didn't spend about $1 million now. This, within this year. We know those are lies for sure. So you mean to tell me over the course of a few years, you spent a little bit? Probably so. Maybe not. I don't know. But that's what she said. So Kenya pretty much started taking over this lady's audition. Okay. One of the girls did a good job. Kenya wanted to know where her contact information was. Kenya wanted the girl to write it on the back of the headshot. The assistant is like, no, I already have all of their information. And then Kenya's like, no, but how are we going to get in touch? You write it down. And it's funny because the girl did exactly what Kenya said versus doing what it is the person that brought her there said. Hilarious. And the lady was upset. She says, the lady said, well, go ahead and write it down. I guess if that makes her happy. Kenya said, it does make me happy. Thank you. She said, confetti. Kenya said, like, girl, it was giving Marlo and Sheree when they was like, like, that's what I was thinking of when they were going back and forth. But I actually loved it. Okay, because the lady was definitely giving Kenya pushback. And when I saw this, I said, Kenya is for real deal crazy, girl. She don't give a who you is. This lady do not care who you are. Okay, she will get you together at any moment. Noted. Okay, so what else happened? Kenya tells her, So Kenya tells the lady, like, listen, she says, this is unacceptable. She says this should be top notch in so many words when it comes to the show and when it comes to the models. And the lady says, well, this isn't my first rodeo. Like, I got that. And then Kenya said, yeah, but it seems like it is your first rodeo. I said, this lady disrespectful as hell, girl. Kenya disrespectful as hell. But let's go ahead and keep going. All right. So Ralph has this photo shoot. And at this photo shoot, he talks about not wanting to adopt Josiah. And Drew doesn't like this, and nor does her mom like this. He says that he took it off the table because when he was going to do it, he had a conversation with JoJo's dad. His dad wasn't happy. He said that it hurt him, and he really just wants the opportunity to actually be a dad. He gets if he wants to adopt him because he's really the only dad that he knows, and he's been there from the beginning, right? He understands that, but he just wants his opportunity to be a dad. And so he says that he's been inviting him out to stuff, and it seems like he's coming around to like being a better dad to JoJo. And what I don't understand is why the ladies are trying to force him into a position of adopting this little boy. And I'm like, I don't think that's how they should go. I don't like that necessarily. I don't know what all they lose, like I don't know what rights the dad lose or how that works, like his biological dad. I don't know, but I don't think that's fair. I feel like if it's not broke, you ain't got to fix it. Like, JoJo is comfortable in the position that he is to him. I don't think it really matters to JoJo whether he's adopted or not, as long as Ralph stays in the position of being his dad. He's slowly getting to know his other dad. So you want Ralph to adopt him and then allow his dad to slowly come. I don't know. That's like confusing. Like, I mean, unless since Ralph is there all the time, you want Ralph to adopt the son so that he can have the say so. He'll have rights to the child and have the say so on what happens with Josiah. That may be ultimately what they want when they want him to adopt the Josiah. And maybe that does make sense if Ralph is the more stable parent than his actual dad. But if you're going to take the little boy away from his dad altogether and not give him the opportunity to at least try, and it sounds like he wants to, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they was applying a bit too much pressure, and it sounds like it's something that Drew and her mom has always wanted, and Ralph was just going along. It doesn't sound like it was something Ralph always wanted from the beginning. It sounded like it was something that was being pushed off on him that they want. So I mean, I don't know. It's still coming off like that. I don't fully disagree, and maybe because I don't have a full understanding of it. But you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's go ahead and move on. Drew and Sheree. I guess they're about to do this birthday party for Kenya and Marlo. They both February Aquarius babies, right around the corner from each other. Okay, so Sheree says she's been stressed out about Sheba not happening, and so when Drew was like, "Girl, like you ain't really been here, you ain't really been pitching or doing anything. I really need you to step it up tonight or whatever." That's when Sheree says she's busy or whatever, and then Sheree says something like, "Well, since I didn't contribute a lot of my thoughts on the birthday function or whatever, then I guess I'll just pay a fourth of the bill instead of paying half of the bill." And I feel like that's effed up, because if you signed up to do something, you should have continued to play your motherfucking part regardless of what you had going on. You already knew you had She by Sheree going on. If you knew that you could not handle it, then you should have slid out of it and maybe passed it over to Candy. Maybe Candy and Drew could have did this together instead of you and her. All right. So you was kind of wrong in my opinion. And then now you want to skip out on the bill at the last minute, and you want people to sit up here and have some type of sympathy for you and what you got going on when it comes to your event. Girl, no ma'am. Okay, so I feel like that was fucked up. But anyway, she done sat up there and got on the call with somebody about her products, trying to see if they ready. Come to find out they ain't even ready. And it sounds like to me you must have hit this person up at the last minute, because it sounds like a last minute ass fashion show and last minute everything, last minute models, everything is last minute. It seems like you tried to plan this show 3 weeks out and just want it all to come together. No, ma'am. It sounds very bad, very poor. Girl, and if you ain't got no products for your fashion show, we know you not gonna have no products at the end of the season. While you telling people to get their coins and stuff ready? Girl, it's giving drop shipping. But let's keep going. So Kenya and Marlo walked into a surprise. Okay, her cousin gets up to do a speech, and this is Marlo's cousin, because she came, her best friend, whatever, came to the speech, and it sounds like she was about to make her speech about Kenya. And I said, "Girl, where are we going with this?" But of course, she tells Marlo all the time, "Don't argue with Kenya." Basically, the cousin really likes Kenya. Okay, tells her, "Don't argue with Kenya." And now it's both of y'all birthdays, so happy birthday to you, ladies. Whatever, it was what it was. Okay. Drew tells them that they don't want to see them fight anymore. They tired of it. Let's move to a better place. Okay. Kenya is confused because she's like, "Girl, is this a birthday party or is this an intervention?" And I said, "Girl, it's definitely giving intervention. 1000% giving intervention and less giving birthday for sure." So Kenya calls Marlo out for constantly calling her a liar, because Kenya was trying to say, "Listen, I ain't got no issue with this bitty body boo. I ain't got no issues with this. Okay. It's just that, she would say some slick ass and talk about my mama not wanting me and this and that." And then Marlo says, "Let's not go back 6 years ago or whatever." And I'm like, "You're right, Marlo. Let's not, because you've said even worse shit more sooner than that." Okay. Okay. So let's talk about that stuff that you've said. So anyway, since you don't want to go that far back, let's go back to earlier this season, because you still said some stuff. But anyway, so Kenya says, "Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. You don't want to go that far back, girl. But let's talk about, here's the main issue. You keep calling me a motherfucking liar when I ain't got nothing to lie about, when you the biggest liar of them all. Let's be very clear about that, girl." Okay, so there's that. Marlo talks about how Kenya has hurt her to her core, and I'm cackling because I'm thinking about me. You hurt me to my core, and everybody else is like, "Oh, girl." Like everybody else is like, "Marlo, okay, you acted now, girl. You acted." If you could tell the reactions from the other ladies, right? She knows she's the worst with words. Kenya and Marlo really got nowhere with their conversation at all. But Drew did decide to play a game. And the game was, so she asked, "How would you respond if someone accused your husband of being aggressive?" So Sonia answers and says, "BIT, you wish you had a man like that." Okay. Yikes. But Kenya couldn't do nothing but laugh. I guess she wasn't in the mood to clap off on her ass in that minute. Right. So then the question becomes, when you hosting a party for a friend and they offer to pay half the bill, or you're hosting a party with a friend, they offer to pay half the bill, but then they decide to dish out on it. What do you think? Like if they decide not to contribute. Candy said, "Call their ass out." And this is when Sheree says, "Yet again, I've been spending too much money. I've been doing too much with She by Sheree." And then proceeds to hand out these invitations that looked very nice, might I add. I said, "Oh, those are some nice invitations." Okay. Very cute. Very cute. But Candy in the confessional, like, "BIT, you spending all this money on these invitations, but when we ask you about your products, you ain't got none of the products." Whew, girl, and I think that the fashion show was coming up in like a few days or within a week or so. Girl, there's some messy shit there. Okay. And she got about 100 people attending. Girl, for an experience, you should have only had about 50. It should have been real exclusive, girl. You should not have 100 people, but okay. So, anyway, we see where Sheree at a later time links up with Apollo. And she calls him and asks him about being a part of the fashion show, which he does agree to do. Okay. He's going to do that. I feel like him coming onto the show, I feel like Phaedra may have known this because Sheree and Phaedra are really cool. And Sheree even suggested for this new season Phaedra to come back to the show, but she said that it sounded like Bravo wasn't really trying to bite on that particular idea. But then they ended up putting her on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Ex-Wives Club. Okay. So they did kind of work with her. Still, they just weren't going to bring her back to the show. And we all know because of Miss Candy Burrs, Candy said she'll leave. Right. But anyway, when it comes to, Apollo, I feel like Phaedra may have known about that. It was like, girl, yeah, let him be a model, let him be whatever. But I feel like Phaedra did not show up to the fashion show. Not sure. Anyway, so Apollo goes on a rant about Phaedra and how she hurt him and how she left him for dead and all this other stuff. And it's like, I feel like she should have left you for dead because you were jeopardizing her and them kids. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You did wrong. So she got the hell on. It's just that simple. All right. And then this was the other gag for me. Y'all gave Apollo a confessional. I said, not y'all giving Apollo a confessional, girl. Not him giving a confessional. Not y'all sit up here letting them let him and whoever speak on Phaedra and Phaedra not there to defend herself at all. Okay. So Sheree talks with him about Tyrone and how Tyrone ended up switching up on her after he ended up getting out of jail, out of prison or whatever like that. And Apollo pretty much keeps it real with her and just tells her, listen, when them guys be in the slammer, everybody be running game. That's just what it's about. Everybody be up there running a game, trying to see what they can get out of these women or whatever. And then as soon as they get out, they be on a whole nother wavelength. They be on some other okay. And you over there feeling like your heart just fell out your chest because these dudes was pretty much feeding you lies the entire time. So he saw what Tyrone was doing from a mile away and just called it out. And I'm just sitting over here wondering to myself, Apollo, is that what you were doing with the other woman that you were seeing? The woman that was bragging all on the Instagram that she was with you while you was in prison, the one that y'all brought onto the show, but Candy didn't want to have anything to do with it. So I'm just wondering, are y'all still together? Because you gave her a little bit of hope when you came out, but I'm just wondering where the relationship stands, at this point. Just wondering. Okay. Just let me know something.